So in our evidence notebook that we started last class, we're going to start page 4. We're going to actually make a T-chart in our notebook. We're going to write renewable. Watch the chat, because if I misspell anything, Mr. James will tell you. I don't think I did. Okay, so a T-chart, we're just comparing. A T-chart is just a way to compare, okay? To compare these two types of energy resources, renewable and non-renewable. If you guys have a question, you can't hear me, you need me to slow down, please raise your hand or type it in the chat. Hey, Omarion, this will only take a few minutes, I promise. Alright, will somebody tell me from the video, what was one of the non-renewable resources? B. Whose name is that? Who's that? B. Bruce, tell me, do you remember, Bruce, any of the non-renewable resources? Basically the resources that aren't produced fast enough to keep up with demand? Bruce, you have a splinter. That's terrible. Can anyone help out Bruce? What's one of the non-renewable resources? Oil! Yes, good job. Who said that? Thank you, Jashawn. Any other ones? Anybody want to add to Jashawn's? There's oil. Coal? Yes. Thank you very much, Justice. Anyone else? Water, hydropower. That actually is considered renewable, but thank you for sharing that one. So we'll write it over here. You guys remember the chemical equation for water? H2O. Okay. The other one was gas, and I want you guys to add this into your notes. These are fossil fuels. Okay, and so now you guys know fossil fuels because that was old living matter that died and then through compression became oil and gas. This huge hydrocarbon energy rich resource that we can use in engines. The other one was nuclear power for non-renewable. Okay, so those are 4 good non-renewables. Let's try to think of some renewables, ones that are generated fast enough to keep up with the demand of our energy needs. Does anybody? Bamboo, biomass, good job. And bamboo plants are beautiful. My neighbors have some that grow. They grow super fast. What else? What are the ones that we see if you guys are driving to Oklahoma or Nebraska or Missouri or Colorado? They're on the highway. They're huge. Grass with biomass, that's good. But what about those huge, big turbines? What are they? Got it. Those big wind turbines, it makes me nervous if we have a tornado. Like what happens if one of those things fly off and, I don't know, I worry too much. And then the other one that I caught was geothermal. But what about those cars? What about those Tesla cars? What is their big claim to fame? What kind of energy source do they use? Electricity. They are electric cars. And the big thing, you're exactly right. And the big thing to charge them is they have these cool solar charging stations. Maybe you guys have seen those solar charging stations at the Town East Mall. So you guys, now in your notes you have a list of renewable and non-renewable. Marian, I promise, one more thing, and then I'll let you go to the bathroom and give you guys a little bit of a longer lunch. If you guys just draw a Venn diagram, Venn diagramming. So a Venn diagram is cool because we have our renewables. How are renewables different? Non-renewables, how are they different? But how are these two the same? How are they the same? What do you guys think? How are these energy resources the same? What is it, something they have in common? They both do what? Yes! humans use for energy. Okay? But then, and I'll go ahead and write this down, non-renewable can't replace fast enough to keep up with demand. So my question is, what's going to happen when all of our oil reserves run out, right? Oil and gas. And these can, so that one word changes it. Where's my highlighter? Kitty, where's my highlighter? Let's use this. So can versus can't, right? Just one word, can versus can't. Can replace fast enough. Okay, guys, this is what I had for today. So I want you guys to have these notes done. I want you guys to have your vocabulary done. And I want you guys to have practiced your vocab on the Nearpod. The Nearpod is still pulled up. It's 10:41. Just in the chat, go ahead and tell me if you're done with those things. You've got the notes written down from today. You've got the vocabulary done and the Nearpod done. Just type in the chat, bye. Then I'll know you've done those 3 things. And you guys can go ahead and jump off. Your next class is charge. So I'm going to write down what you need done here. Do vocab on page 2 and 3, notes on page 4, and then practice on Nearpod. Then if you're done, leave. Lunch is at, or charge is at 11:42. Okay? So, if you're done with those things, you guys, if you're done with these things down in the corner, you guys can go ahead and leave, all right? And I won't see you again until Monday. If you need help at all, I'm going to be here all hours, so hang around and ask me, Mr. James or Miss Carly, questions, okay? Class is over at 10:54, okay? 10:54 is when class is done. But if you are done with all of those things, you can go ahead and take a break from the computer.